backcourt, and that really hurt their defense inside. So watch that. And also, Chalmers could not get in foul trouble. Derrick Rose is no ordinary ball handler, by the way.
It'll be interesting to watch his face. Just a freshman playing in a championship game, and not just playing, he's got the keys. Chalmers rebounds the Rose miss. Rush. Uh-oh. Don't leave that thing lying around like that. That's going to be Kansas. Well, I thought the Memphis player touched it last, but we'll let Ed Hightower, John Cal, and Ed Corbett do the officiating. And I doubt if we really will, but we'll.
They had a little better angle than we did.
Yeah, we did. There's the first sub. We talked about the Kansas depth. That's Sasha Khan. If you're watching in Russia, he's from Tomsk. If you're not watching in Russia, he's still from Tomsk.
Spent his high school days at Florida Air Academy in Melbourne, Florida after emigrating. His mom put him on a plane by himself, and the rest is history.
Derrick Rose.
Well, Memphis's guards, Brad, have almost a 3-inch size advantage against Kansas. And John Calipari has utilized Derrick Rose throughout the season as a post-up player. A good example right there.
We talked to John Calipari about why Memphis is different from a team that was in the Elite Eight for 2 years in a row. Rose finishes the three-point play. And see Memphis showing some pressure here. Calipari says, well, for one thing, we're older and more experienced. We've been through it. We have Sean Taggart, who transferred from Iowa State, and this year we have Derrick Rose,
who may end up being a very, very high NBA draft pick.
Before Arthur gets the shot, we've got a foul on the floor. Memphis with an early 9-3 lead. But this foul is going to be called.
I'm trying to think back a few years, Brad, and I don't remember a national championship game with this many athletes on the floor. Now, we could go back to the early 80s, Georgetown and North Carolina, teams like that, but in recent years, this is as athletic a group as you'll see.
Versatile, can attack, beat you from the perimeter, defend. The foul was on Robert Dozier of Memphis. It's 9-3 Memphis. And look at them get on the floor. Look at Anderson tie things up. A held ball, and the possession arrow belongs to Kansas.
This reminds me of Saturday when Kansas threw the first punch against North Carolina and stunned them. It's early, but you can see that Kansas is rattled, especially in the way they've been taking care of the basketball.
Everybody who plays Memphis is rattled. They look like something real good on tape. That shot got blocked. And Rush is going to get the putback.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. When you think that Memphis has demolished Michigan State, Texas, and UCLA, I think that's a great point.
This is Taggart, the transfer from Iowa State back to Rose. Taggart will shoot from here. Dorsey had his hand on that one, and the ball is going to Kansas. But first, we have our first timeout. 15:36 remaining in the first half of the championship. Memphis leading Kansas by an early score of 9-5. And we'll be right back to San Antonio. There's a good look at John Calipari, the head coach of the Memphis Tigers. Brad Sham and Fran Fraschilla, delighted to be welcoming you to San Antonio, where Memphis leads Kansas 9-5. 4.5 minutes